Okay, welcome. I think it's testing. Yep, we got it. Welcome to my vanity. My name is Folcall Nathaniel hyphen Nima Tildy Jr. And I just want to introduce you to my vanity. Um, in my vanity, this is about discipline. I love music. I'm not very good at making it or mixing it or whatever like that, but I do have some skills and knowledge that I'm going to try to expand about because we live in a world where there's a lot of music around. We have a lot of musicians, and this is important to me. The reason why I want to make music because I have a faith and I serve a living God, and there are some music out there that are being made that does not really coincide with my faith. Um, and my vanity because I love music and I love it. It kind of calms me down. It relaxes me, and you know music is not just because either it's religious or if it's educational or whatever it may be. However, it's still based on the fact that who made the music, what kind of lifestyle are they living as well. Because all that matters, because everything is spiritual. Whatever is put into the music will somehow reveal itself to me in a way if I'm not self-conscious spiritually. And a lot of music, mostly, especially the kind of music my brothers. Maybe I should put a camera on. A lot of music that my brothers and sisters make. And I have nothing against them. And like I said, when I came out, I want people to make their music. I want people to be successful at what they do. However, with the you know I'm it's not it's killing my consciousness. And when I used to listen to this kind of music, it was not really for the wording of what the individual was saying. It was mostly about the rhythm that was going behind it. And so because of that, I want to be able to make music that will be able to feed my consciousness in the way that I feel comfortable. So that's a little bit of introduction as to my vanity, making music. So in order to make music these days, I mean, we have a digital work audio station, a digital audio workstation where you make your music on the computer. Things it's not live these days. How things used to be made back then in the earlier days. So now that we have this digital audio workstation, if you want to know more about that, there's other people out there that explain those things in detail. What a digital, just go to YouTube and type in what a digital audio workstation is. And if you want to find out more information, yeah, you're free to do that. However, I'm going to be going to a manual of a digital audio workstation that I have that I plan to use going forward. You can teach yourself the same thing. You can grab your manual if because it is important. If the purpose of a thing is not known, abuse is inevitable. This is to teach myself. This is just a beginning because there's a lot of other manuals that I will need to teach myself. That's more important to the life that I live as a faith based individual. So coming to my channel or my arena or my domain, you have to have the respect of the fact that I have faith in my Elohim. His name is Adonai. He has many names. His name is not just God. So if you serve a God, you have to come and tell me what his name is. But I serve a living God. His name is Elohim Yahweh. Many of us know him by Jehovah, Yahweh, Yah, um, and so on. And because I serve him and so forth, you'll be hearing about that on my channel. So if you don't serve God, if you're atheist or whatever, feel you don't have to be able to, you don't have to listen to that. You may find somewhere that's more suitable. Before I start going to this manual, you must also know that this is not a place where you're gonna come to learn how to make beats. I'm not a beat maker. I don't know how to make beats. However, during the time on me going through through this manual, you occasionally, once in a while, not in the beginning process, but later on, several, maybe some months later, after we are gotten into a deep portion of this manual, you may occasionally see me using some MIDI stems to make some beats. Because one thing you realize, I don't know how to play the piano. I would love to. Now that I could take some time to learn it, but there's a lot of things I want to learn that's more important to me, like reading and getting to know my Heavenly Father. And of course, I work, so that take a lot of portion of my day. What else? And so forth. And also, I'm not a mix engineer. I'm not a mixer. I'm not a master engineer. So you will not be learning those things from me. However, occasionally you will see me mixing some songs, my songs, anyways, because you can't mix without things to mix. So I will be mixing some of those things, and you'll be seeing what I do, why I do it. I'm not a professional. I am a beginner. I'm a learner. That's why I'm teaching myself how to do these things. So if you're a beginner as well, welcome. And this is for actual beginners, not people who are intermediate, people who are just literally trying to get the ropes. So with that being said, let us jump right into it. Let's go to the manual. The program I'm using is called Samplitude for Magix. Now I've used Magix Music Maker. Um, I've used it for several years. I actually started using it back in, I would say, 2007. Um, but yeah, I've been using it since then, and just of recent time, I've been upgraded to Magix Samplitude, and we have the Pro X8 version. There are people who've been with Magix since with Samplitude since the very first outing of Samplitude. Now, you know, pretty much it may be a different layout. It might be dedicated for more for professional more. However, um, I'm professionals are professional. They do their thing, but I am for me. I'm not a professional, so I yeah, that's where I'm at. I don't professional to me, in my sense, is people who go out and make money doing what they do with their craft. I don't make money from my craft, so I pretty much yeah. So with that being said, let's go into this manual. A lot of time when I download stuff, you don't really know how to operate things. Now I've opened this program. I've opened it. I've came in without reading the manual. Um, downloaded it, installed it onto my software, and yes, I have and I was able to record if I got stuck as to how to set up my you know the beginning stage of how to set up your recording stuff so that you can be able to record and get your stuff coming through your mic. I maybe went to YouTube and get or maybe get a little bit of insight from there. But however, no one truly went in and taught me how to really use the program, and that's why I want to teach myself. So if you find it valuable, yeah, welcome. Okay, so well, first thing first, whenever we get anything, everything is legal and lawful. We must understand that this document is protected by copyright laws, so there are certain things we cannot do. Is that no part of this publication may be reproduced or form of copies, microfilms, or other processes or transmitted into a language used for machines, especially data processing machines, without the express written consent of the publisher. So in any ways, we cannot take the code and make our own software and stuff like that, blah blah blah, without their written consent. That's what I'm getting. They might, if I'm wrong, they can correct me, but I doubt it. But that's what I'm getting out of it. It said Magic is a registered trademark of Magic software. I usually just call it Gambit. Like Gambit, the X-Men guy, but GmbH. So yeah, and also, something we must understand is that Samplitude and Hybrid Audio Engine are registered trademark of Magix software. So they're the one that, well, pretty much made this Samplitude and the Hybrid Audio Engine. So we have to know that the company the Magix company, of course, that's why it's making it very plain to you that the trademark of Magix software, um, you know, GmbH, Gambit. I keep want to keep saying Gambit, but I want to make sure that we're pronouncing GmbH. So Magix made Samplitude and Hybrid Audio Engine. They are all registered trademarks. Azure and VST are registered trademarks. Steinberg Media Technology. GmbH. Now, I'm not going to go through all the research because you had to do that on your own. You had to type in, in Google, what is Steinberg Media Technology and understand all that, so forth. We'll not get to the manual if we try to do all that. It's your responsibility to do some of your own work. We're just here to go through the manual. Yukon is a trademark of Avic Technology. Now, it's like a partnership here in a way. Okay, so that's what you have to understand, that everything that is made in this software is not all made by this software. However, some things that are being used are proprietary of other software. So you have to understand the legal ramification, because if you make something in here, you have to understand who your affiliates are. And all other products named are trademarks of their respective owners. Um, Now you can go through and finish the rest of that. I'm not going to try to go through all of that because you talk about patents and all the good stuff. Now it was last built, it was last updated last year, June 1st of last year. Okay, let's go forward. So here we got our contents, what we're going to be going through. So the first thing is that today we're probably just going to cover what's new, because we're not going to open the software yet. We want to know something before we start to upload it and so forth. So we're gonna skip all the way down to page 22, but we'll just scroll down and see what's in the document, what's in the table of contents. We have documents and help, forum, PDF documentation, and so forth. So, yeah, all the things we're gonna be going through. Project windows, okay. And just so you're aware, I already syntax the portion that I'm going to be going through. We have objects, how to manage objects, how to do with them, to make it easy, because we may be able to go into the software and do things, but there's some things that we may not be aware of. All these things we have to understand. Effects, what they are, what they do, and how we're going to be able to maneuver those. Okay. Managers, okay, we're going to have to get to know that as well. Automation, I think it's good because the pros use that to certain part of the song, they might be louder, certain part of the song might be lower, or certain things might be changed. You might overall make add a certain plugin at a certain portion of the song to change the feel, to give it a different vibe. Okay, so we'll have to know all those things. Project tempo, we need to know that. Now we're not just going to jump in the order how we want to teach it. We're going to go through to the order of the manual. Okay. And the VSDs, of course, we're going to go through that, understand how to use them. Some of them have their own, whatnot. Excuse me. MIDI in Samplitude. Unfortunately, that we had to wait this far to go into understanding MIDI. But we're going to go through the manuals the way it's supposed to be. So if you want to learn it, maybe by the time we're done with all this, you can just go through your chapters, mixer, understanding the mixing windows, and so forth, Panorama, and all that good stuff. Now they talk about surround sound. If you ask me, I prefer the way they had the surround sound for the music at a Music Pro, because it's easier to work with. You get to switch between the surround sound and the stereo and try to get a blend in between the two. But however, I'm not truly going through the surround sound in this yet, so it'll be a good learning to see how it works. But I prefer how they did it. Now I wish like a software company like this could put together the basic, but then you get to pick and choose as a user how you want your stuff to be built. But unfortunately, they want to build it for you so that you can be able to use it. Now keep in mind, I'm using this software. I have no affiliation with them. I don't represent them, and I'm pretty sure they wouldn't want me to represent them because, or whatever and so forth. But however, I'm teaching myself, so um, that I'm not here to advertise. I'm not here to make you buy them. I'm just telling you this is what I use. Is how I'll go through the manual. It's an example. It's a discipline thing. If you can take your time and go through a manual and teach yourself it, it tells you a whole lot. Patience and dedication. Tools and assistance. Saving, importing, and exporting. We have to wait that long just for us to be able to know how to export our song. Something that we can do right away. But yeah. Program preferences. how to set up. It's important. That's why we don't want to jump back and forth. But the program's preferences, right, where we really get to know what to do, so that we can know how to start recording and working with MIDIs and how to do those settings and so forth. So we will see how things goes. Let's see what program preferences is. We might start there and then start from the beginning. We'll see. We might start there. Okay, so there we are. Yeah, that's what we'll do. We'll do. Um, so today we'll probably focus on what's new in Samplitude Pro 8, and we'll do a little bit of documentation. Goes up onto page. Okay. Okay. We'll do documentation and system requirements today, and then we'll jump into the program preferences as the next, so we can know how to set up our audio stuff, so that at least we can get going. Then we'll come back and start going through everything else. Okay, so what's new? This is the most important innovation in Samplitude Pro X8 at a glance. Take lanes. Comping. Now I don't know what comping is, but they give us an example. They said combining sections from different recording takes. So like if you have one take, maybe I should open the software for this. Let's open Samplitude. Okay. We are going to open keep in mind we also have this. I'm using two screen. I'm going to bring it down to one so that we can it takes a little bit to load the first take, but once you have everything loaded, the other stuff opens pretty quickly. So while that's doing this thing, let's go back and talk about why we're here in the first place. Okay, where were we? Okay, so like I was saying, so you have a tape, okay, and you have certain session cut. You can combine them by making them into one take, so that it seems like a one recording, but it's from different takes. So it's no longer take place in a separate take composer window, but directly in the project window. So like where you do your recording and everything. Now it says that we will learn more about it on page 120. So that's good. All right, so we finally have everything loaded up. So let's just take a look at our after we go through that, we'll just do a run through of our program and something that we will get to know later on. And then that will be the beginning portion. So I was saying like the take, if I was to cut here, and then I was to cut there, and I was to cut there, and I was to do the same thing, and I can take this one and put it there, combining all of them into one comping. That's the shortest way I can possibly reveal it to you. Okay. So let's go back over to where and then it will talk more about it on page 120. If it was to click, I don't want to click on it because I had to work hard to come all the way back. But anyway, I click on it. So take lanes. We'll talk about that when that time comes, okay? But right now, let's go back to where we were. So we're on page 121 or 21. Okay, that's where we were. So they said marker tracks. Marker are displays in their own tracks. The height of the track can be freely adjusted so that long marker names are no longer cut off by following markers. Markers. We'll talk about that. I guess they're going to tell us more about markers, huh? Because I don't know what a marker is. I mean, I kind of have a little bit of an idea, but I don't really know what it is. So it talks about it on page 94. Let's click and see what it is like. So markers. It's just a point. So markers pretty much if there's a place in your take that you want to remember, or maybe you want to do certain things there. Maybe you want to add a specific kind of plugin. Maybe you want to add a tremolo to that specific area, or maybe you want to add whatever it is that you want to do to that specific area. It's a reminder pretty much. So you put that marker there. We'll talk more about markers when that time comes along. So where were we? We're on page 21. Then it said so that's pretty much what it is. Simultaneous export. Oh yeah, I would tell you about exporting in multiple format. Now I don't know what's been going on with mine. Is that when I try to export in waves in MP3 for some strange reason, I don't know why. You get the little Chinese writing for the MP3. It doesn't come out with the name of the. I need to find out what's going on with that because it might be some corruption going on. But let me show you here on the screen. So for example, if I was to go to File and I was to go to Export, let's bring the screen over here. You see how I have a choice? I have MP3, I can put an MP3, AIF, I have all these choices. So that's pretty much what they're talking about. I can click multiple at once and it will export all of them all at once. That's pretty much what they're talking about. Okay, let's go back. Oh, let's go back. All right, we can exit this guy here and let's go back to the screen. And audio warp. I don't know what that is. Warp markers can now be set in audio objects to touch and move the audio. Huh. To correct irregularities in a recording. I wonder what that irregularities could be in a recording, or to change the audio rhythm. That would be good to know because then maybe if you had a certain rhythm, so sometimes you just spit like as if you're talking. When you rap or when you sing, it could just sound like a talking. Maybe this might just give it a little rhythm that you may need. Let's see what 310 says. Click on 310. With this, we're not really gonna go into all that. We just want to see what it's about. Okay, all right. So we will learn more about that when that time comes. Page 309. Okay, go back to 21. Okay. So many improvement for working in the project windows. New meaningful mouse pointers in the editing. We'll figure that out. Numerically adjustable volume directly on the object. So let's see if that's possible. Let's go to let's switch screen and let's hide put this down here and let's maybe I should put this on. I'll be using a controller surface. I just turn it on. I don't know if it's gonna automatically pick up. If it does, I'll do the zoom in with that and give it some time. Okay. Is that Yeah, it did work. So let's do the zoom in function. Let's make it bigger. So it's telling us that the volume should be here inside of this. I guess we'll have to figure that out because um, let's go and read what it's trying to tell us. Because it said um, usually it's supposed to be at the end or at the bottom. So we're at 0 dB. Ah, oh my God, that's nice, isn't it? You if for some reason this was not here, where you got the volume, the pen, which is the if you click this button right here, we'll take it away. Oh, that's um. Well, we'll go through a whole lot of the stuff, but that is nice. So I'm pretty sure that's what it was talking about. I'm not sure that what it was talking about, but I'm pretty sure that was what it was talking about. That the numerical adjustable volume directly on the object. I think that's what it is. Automatic display notes of the MIDI. I don't have a MIDI track here. Let's try to see if we can open the MIDI track, insert a new track, insert a new MIDI track. Let's see. Um, and in order for you to really record, in order for you to have a MIDI object, you have to actually record. So, oh, actually, I don't want you to listen to that right now. Um, I don't want you to listen to that right now. So we're just gonna do solo, and we're gonna record it. Well, we're not getting anything coming out. So let's see what's that put up. Let's just put anything analyze in embed asset. Let's go to pad and let's do beauty pad. And okay. You know what? Let me go to the mixer. Let me go to the mixer here. Um, And let me put on, and I have a whole lot of stuff here. We'll get into those things because right now we're just trying to get an overview because I wanted to kind of create a media object so that we can be able to um uh maybe because there we go. So now we're recording our media object. Okay. And we can press stop. And we can zoom in a little bit. Let's keep that media object. Yes. And let's zoom in a little bit here. Okay. And when we click, double click. Want it down here? Okay. So I guess the bottom half, you see how there's a little half down here? The bottom half we clicked and we get into the, so they're saying that, let me read what they said again. Optimize display of notes. They'll put a note. Now you're not going to hear the audio right now because I don't have my real stream sending to the OBS because I'm not, it's not to play anything right now. Okay. Okay, so let's uh let's go to real stream because it will not be fair to you. Real stream, a little delay. Let me stretch my screen so you can see what I'm looking at. I'm trying to add real stream to this guy, and I know it's here somewhere. Not there. Core. Right there. Okay. So as I was doing this, I think in order for it to work through my OBS, I had to shut OBS down and then open it back up, which I'm not really in the. Oh, actually, you know what? Let's put Nate and let's send. Go to OBS setting here. Okay. We will get that one going, and right now we just wanted to take a look at that to see if that's really what they were saying. Okay. So let's see. Help and manual have been completely revised and updated. Oh, we didn't go to optimize media objects. So, and for example, you don't realize that I'm not really a like I said, I'm not a beat maker. So you'll notice that a lot of things I don't know, but I'm pretty sure that we will learn a lot of things going on, things that we did not know. Right now, we're in the media editor. We have a lot of options up here. We'll go through them when that time comes. So yeah, and we're going to do a lot of clicking music. We'll do a lot of clicking music. And you had to realize that in the MIDI, although it's not a pattern kind of thing, so it's actually playing what's actually on the main project window. So whatever your marker is, what's going to start from. All right, let's go back. Let's switch windows. Okay, let's. All right. Improve default setting, formatting display options. We'll see what that is. Color button in the object editor, set a background color. Oh, we'll definitely see what that is as well. And then the helping manual have been completely revised. That's awesome. VST plugin and compatibility and performance improvement. Now, the more third party plugin you use, the more heavy it will be on your computer. So yeah, we'll get into that. Documentation and help. Before we get into the documentation and help, I would like to take this opportunity to let you know that I don't know if I should make a separate video. In music, when you're learning from other individuals, there's a lot of information that will withhold from you. They don't really tell you everything. Now, in your setting, most time if you're just a beginner, you probably just have yourself maybe like an audio interface, some speakers, and a microphone. And that be quite frank, you're never going to be able to make something sound like the pro, regardless of how hard you try. You can get all the plugins in the world because you have barriers. Okay, there's going to be a lot of barriers, but that does not mean that you cannot come close to what it is that they're doing. A lot of them have a lot of external hardware that they have already in their studio that makes their listening environment superb, that makes their recording just clean. Now you're gonna be recording with a lot of stuff in your background. You gotta consider all these things when you're following these so-called pros, because these are things that you will need to address for yourself. You need to realize that you have flaws, and no matter how much tips and tricks they give you, you're never going to be able to live up to that expectation because of the limitation that you have. You may hear someone add a reverb on their vocals, but you don't really know what their vocals already running through or what kind of processes have already been applied before they add that reverb. So you're gonna think that if you just go ahead and throw that reverb on your stuff, oh, that's gonna make it, and you're gonna realize that it doesn't sound the same. You're gonna be discouraged. You shouldn't be discouraged because you don't have what they have. That's one thing you're gonna realize. You don't have what the pros has because they have money to get the things they need, and you don't. You're starting from a very bottom level. Okay. So in order for you, I'm probably going to set up a different video after this. I'm going to set up a video talking about what I have, what my sound level is at, and what the cost is to really, because you have to differentiate. If you just want to make beats and do a little mild touch ups as far as using FX to kind of add a little bit of oomph to your beats, then you don't need a heavy duty computer. You can do that with any regular computer, because as long as you meet the requirements, which we're going to talk into right now. But if you're going to do some mixing, you are going to have a bare minimum requirement. So we're going to get into that. Documentation and help. This is a variety of information available to assist you in working with Samplitude. You got help features, online support area, the online user forum, and PDF. Now you're going to realize like the online support area and online user forum, it's not really suitable for someone like me, because I do I am that kind of person. I like a interaction with human beings. Now people that are very arrogant people, if you were to ask questions, they'll be like, oh, you should know this and this and that. Just, yeah, you deal with fools and you just got to put them aside. Then you got the PDF menu, which we're going through, which I got in from the software. If we were to go here and we go to help, you got the open manual right here. Okay, you got help as well. When you click this help, it's gonna bring you. Let's change the screen here. It's gonna bring you to this screen, and from there you can click on things that you want to know about. So it's here. So just in case if you wanted some browse through. So, but if you just don't have the time to read through and you want someone to show you, then of course, yeah. So let's go back to this. Help. We just pretty much went through that. I'm not really gonna go through that very much anymore. Like I said, you click the help and it got a lot of stuff there for you to be able to browse through. Let's go back there. So help, that's why I want to open my menu. If you want to search for something, you click the help. I showed you what happened when you click the help. If you want to know more about Samplitude, you click about Samplitude. You got things that if you want to deactivate your license for this program, you can do that in the software here. If you want to activate it, you can activate it, and so forth. You want to download more instruments and sounds, the options is here. You got, if there's updates that maybe that sometimes, especially if you connect it to the internet, you're gonna automatically be given the opportunity to update your software, and which is a pretty nice and unique thing. Language, I'm in English right now. If you're in Dutch, you can go in Dutch. If you're in Espanol, you can go to Espanol. If you say Francais, you can say Francais, or you can do automatic. Now, I'm not going to put automatic because I don't speak any language. I don't want to be confused. Then you also have the opportunity to reset the program to its default how it came. Okay, so this is pretty much the help area of this stuff, things that you need help with. Now they say you can press control. Let's open that up again and see what it says. It says you can press control F. So let's see, we're in the software right now, control F. But it's not working for me right now, or maybe because my keyboard is not close to. Yeah, it's not seem to be working for me right now. So that control F, that actually, let's get out of the MIDI and get into the project window here. Control F. Yeah, it's not working. So that control F, we'll have to figure that out when that time comes. Because that is not working for me. So form, yeah, that's places doesn't really work for me very well. So, but if it works for you, you can go into, because if you're going to sign up, you're going to be able to have access to the form. I'm not going to show you how to get there. You can do that. If there's a time later on in the future that you need to know, we'll do that one. PDF documentation, I just showed you pretty much in a lump sum to open the manual. We're not going to read the entire thing to go through that. Other functions in the help menu, I showed you what that is. You can, if you want to know about Samplitude, if you click on that open Samplitude button, you know what, if I'm going to go through the menu, it's better for us to show ourselves it. So if we were to go to help, we want to learn more about Samplitude. Let's switch the screen. This will tell you a little bit more about Samplitude. The serial number that I'm using, it's software, copyright, and so forth. Now, don't use my serial number to put it in yours, because you're gonna get what's coming to you. Okay, this is a little bit more about what they are. Okay, let's switch back over here. If you, let's just say, definitely don't want to deactivate my program and so forth. So yeah, anything you want to, if you want support, you click support. And this is what comes up when you click support. Okay, so if you want to download, you click that and it will take you to, if you have internet, it will take you complete to the website. License management, you can click that, it will take you there. Forum, it'll take you there. Support an email, it'll take you there for you to send email to them. Okay, now no offense, a lot of the big company, whatever it's Magix, whatever it's Avid, whatever it's IK Multimedia, whatever it's Waves, or the program, no offense. To be honest, sometimes I feel like I get a little bit more quicker response from Waves than I do most people. I don't get good response from IK Multimedia, to be very honest. They have good products, don't get me wrong. I'm a pad synth kind of person, so I love their whole setup there with the sample tank and everything. But to get response for them, you got to understand the setting of it's a different country and everything, so you had to be considerate of other people as well. But sometimes when I ask them for something, I pretty much figure it out before they can get back to me. That's just my, and sometimes it takes me days to figure some things out. So just an FYI. All right, so that's pretty much all the help things that we can really discuss on this stuff here. You gotta know these little things. Language, like I told you. Yeah, so we're not going to waste our time going through that. Let's see what else we can have in the documentation that we haven't touched yet. Start selection, see below. I mean, you know what, it's better that we just, let's go to start selection. Let's see what it says about start selection. I just want to kind of give you an idea what the start selection is. Whenever you open your screen, let me bring it over a little bit. Whenever you open your screen, this is going to be what going to open up every time. Now you can choose not to have this open up every time. I keep it open every time because sometimes I just want to jump right to the stuff that I was recently working on. I just like to jump into that recently. Now you see a lot of this, they ain't listening because I've been trying to do a little bit of mixing and trying to get a feel of mixing so I know what I'm, what works for me as far as, because I like a bass heavy, kick heavy, thick, but not dark, but enough to hear the voice and everything. So I've been trying all type of stuff. I have the clear one where you have very light kick, very light bass, very clear open, and then you have, so yeah, that's what I've been doing. So that's the start selection if you're curious to know what that was. All right. Okay. So we went to the download. We explained that. That's pretty much in the lump sum. That's the start selection. I just showed you that. Um, um, they said that. Let's read this. The start selection opens every time you start Samplitude, and I told you that. But can also be opened from the menu help, and I just showed you that. It offers several quick options for working with Samplitude. For checking purposes, at the top there is a display for the selected audio and MIDI driver. So for example, let's open ours here. It just shows you this, but let's go back. If we were to open it for ourselves, start selection, and we have it here. Okay, so my audio interface is Audio for All that I'm using. So if you want to do audio setup, you can do it from right here before going to the program. This will bring you to this page. Okay, so just in case if you started this software, you want to start going right away. For me, I'm using Audio for All. Okay, and Audio for All, you got a control panel where you click on that will take you down. The Big Bend is always stays at Big Bend. I don't ever change that. Control panel, if I was to click that, let me move this over. This screen pops up. Okay, and these are all my sounds drivers that I have. Okay, and right now I'm using, because I've been using a lot of plugins, so I had to increase because it started to skip. That means that you need to get a computer for mixing if you really want to mix, and we'll get into the system requirements. But however, it's the Big Band. This is all the stuff that I have on my drivers, and I'm using Magix. Not Magix. I'm using Mackie Pro X8, and I had this for quite a few years. I want to say since 20. I'm just going to say 2019. I've had this. I think I had it longer, but I'm just going to say 2019 to be safe. This is what I use for my recording, for everything that you will see me working on. If you do see me working on anything, this is where my recordings and stuff like that. So I don't have the fancy studio recording monitor. I have my Mackie. Now, everybody have their preferences. You can pick yours. So like I said, my audio interface is the Mackie that I'm using, and that's what I use, and that's why I get all my recording coming out of my monitors, my mic, everything comes out of this area. So that's why I clicked on turn it on, and when you X out of it, it is set. You see, set at 512. Now you can increase to 32. I'm always at 24. I never know the reason why I should go up to 32. I never touched it. I just leave it at 24. And yeah, so pretty much. And then of course you have, if you want to do tip monitoring or manual monitoring. I'm not advanced. I just leave it where it's supposed to be at tape, and I click OK. But I'm going to press cancel on that. That's my audio setting. Okay, and as far as everything goes, it's pretty much self-explanatory. Now for MIDI, I have it on all, so that means anything I plug in, it will automatically read or write. So if you want to get things set up before you get into your actual settings, before you get into the DAW, this is where you'll do a lot of those things. So to kind of make our long story short, what all this is talking about right here is pretty much that you can select your preferences and so forth. If you want to start a new virtual project, of course, we're going to get into that, but I'm not going to get into that now. Sometimes it's good to read these little highlight notes. Say attention. To make it easier for program beginners to switch to Samplitude, the program behavior has been changed in some places compared to the older version of Samplitude. Example, the mouse wheel in VIP no longer scroll horizontally. okay, but vertically to make the keyboard and the mouse behave exactly as in previous version. Now, like I said, I just started with Pro X7 and got upgraded to Pro S7. I mean to Pro S8. Of course, I had to pay a little something for that. Like I said, nobody's paying me anything to do this. I am not being paid. I don't have any agreement with Magix to teach myself. So yeah, this select the entry Samplitude Pro X to standard from the list. Okay. For more information, see keyboard shortcuts and edit menu. Now they said it's going well, we're on page 25. So 613 talks a little bit more about that. We will get into that. Right now it's too advanced for us, so we're gonna go back to 20. We're at 25, so that's where we are. For support, register uh, register user can receive technical support by telephone or email. Okay. Now, telephone, to be very honest, the last time I actually talked to a Magic associate on telephone was back in 2017, 16, somewhere around there when I first started using. But now I don't know. I think everything is mostly email because when you have too many people calling you and calling, you don't have the service and availability for that. It can be kind of overwhelming, so I understand. So anticipate that most of your stuff will be by email, not by phone. Maybe local people might be able to use it by phone, but just so you know, if you wanted to contact them, that is their phone number, their fax number, and their email. It's important to know these things because we're trying to search around, trying to figure things out. System requirement. This is what we're going to talk a little bit about some things. In order to run this software, you must have a Windows 10 or a Windows 11, and it must be 64 bits. Okay. Now, for the minimum system requirement for your processor, now I want to show you mine, but I don't think I should show you mine, but I think I should. Let's go to I want to see. Mm, well, I think we will, because I was trying to go to the control panel to show you my, but I don't think it was a good idea because you might see my. Hmm. It's okay. We're gonna skip that right now. But anyways, let's go back to what I believe I have 4 gigahertz of processing power. Um, for RAM, you have to have a minimum of 8 to run this because they're expecting you to do pro stuff. Minimally, they expect you to be using VSDs and other things and to do a lot of recordings and so forth. But if you just want to make beats, everybody start off with Fruity Loops, um, and you will not need a lot of requirement. But if you're using this software and you want to do a little bit of beat and working with MIDIs, and this is mostly for live recordings and so forth, you need a minimum of 8. I have 16. Okay, your screen resolution. I have 2 screens here, so and for my display, um, I'm going to try to show you my display. I have 3 screens. If you were to look here, this is my screen. I have, you know, so just in case if you're kind of curious. Um, of course, and you see what it says right here. This is key to pay attention to this. It says screen resolution. That's your screen resolution, but it says what? Second monitor recommended. I have 3. Why are they recommending a second monitor? I'm not going to get into that. Hard disk memory requirement 2 gigabyte of minimal installation. 90 gigabyte with independent sampler content. So they said 90 gigabyte, and I don't even have that 90 gigabyte of the so that means that I need to go and download more stuff, and I haven't really done that yet, and I'm not going to do that here, but thinking about it now, I'm going to go ahead and have to download that. Okay. um you're going to need a internet connection to register your product, of course. Audio playback, you need a good sound card. So yeah, so when you get in your computer, you gotta know what you're getting. I got a Sound Blast Allergy or whatever that is, but I'm using Audio and my so forth. And then it's optional. You need a CD or DVD recorder, a MIDI interface. I mean, that's a no-brainer. Installation. I think we're gonna make this into a separate video installation. Um, I think what I will also recommend is that I'm gonna skip installation because you can go on the internet right now to YouTube and you can see there are people showing you how to install this stuff. Okay, it's gonna be redundant to have other people doing it, and no, it's we all gotta share the workload. You can go to YouTube, type in YouTube. Let's go. Let's go. If we were to go to YouTube, okay, and we were to type in Magix, Magix Samplitude installation. Okay. So you see right here, installing Magix Samplitude Music Studios 2017. However, this guy is, I think he has a connection with Magix. Um, I'm not sure what it is, but if you go to his page, you can be able to do the initial setup. You can watch that. I'm not going to try to do that because that's going to be time consuming. But yeah, he can kind of walk you through how to set it up and everything. And yeah, so I'm not going to go to all that because the registration, all those things. What I want to do is what I want to jump into next, to be very honest, is I'm going to cut this video here. And what we're going to jump into is doing the overview of the program. So I'm going to end this here, and we're going to go and then we're going to do a separate video because everything is broken into section. We're going to do an overview of the program. So I will see you next time. Have a nice one.